Should have a lot of volatility today. Can't wait to spend this morning with you guys. Let's get this thing going. There we go. We got the link. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Brian, good morning to you. Man, you're the first guy today. The early bird gets the worm. We got David, we got Brian, we got Robert. Good morning, Robert. Hopefully everybody's doing well today. Jody, how are you? Let me go ahead and share my screen. It's probably the best thing to do around here. Here we go. All right. Perfect. Perfect. Carlos, buenos dias to you too. Don, Dave, Angel, Carrie, Joy, Robert, Cam, good morning, Cam, Richard, Elizabeth, Dr. Serena, Rich, Victor, Greg. Let me just type in good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Blair, how are you? Hope you're doing good. Jacques, Fred, how are you? Rich, Duzzy, Jill, good morning, Jill. I hope you're doing well. Dave, all right. As you guys know, we usually wait till we get about 100 people in the room. For some reason, it's showing 4. I know we have a lot more than 4 people in this room right now. I guess it's slow to update today. We'll give it another minute or so, and then we will begin. Hopefully, you guys can see me and hear me well, and we'll be starting in just a minute. Just wanted to give folks a few minutes to get going. David, Gary, Markey. It's very strange. It's only saying that 5 people are watching right now, which is very strange, right? We definitely have more than 5 people watching right now. I mean, I've already said hello to close to 100 people in here. Hello, Jack. Awesome, Howard, CJ, Gary, David, Markey, JB, Tom, all of you guys. Good morning. All right, I guess it's a good time to start. This thing must not be working correctly because we sure as heck don't have 5 people in this room. We have a lot more than that. Henry, good morning. All right, let's begin. So as you guys can see, the NASDAQ is down very, very little. The Dow is down quite a bit. Why is that happening? We'll talk about, Pam says today's customer service live, VWAP Hakanashi candles on Thinkorswim. Love it, love it, love it. Pam, I'm going to have a class next week, as you know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'm going to be relying on you and sending people over to you to help them set up their computers to be able to do all those cool things that we will be showing during the class. So I'm glad that you're doing all of that. That's very, very helpful and very, very helpful. Is the last YouTube I watched did the same? That's weird. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's only saying 5 people are here, which is, we know that's not true. We know that there's like well over 100 people here. Good. And by the way, folks, remember, customer service live happening at between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. And hit the red button in your customer service portal. Lastly, before I begin, 2 things. Join me for my VIP room today at noon, where we update you on everything we do here, and we do some education. And then I'm going to do the last webinar today, the workshop webinar, where I'll be talking about my number 1 stock and the VWAP. And I'm going to tell you guys something. The price is going up. So if you guys haven't done that already, price is going to go up. And here is what that's all about right here. That's the 1 p.m. briefing. All right. Yeah, it's weird, right? This tracker's not working. Cam, does it show that you also have only 6 people on here? I mean, we have hundreds of people on here right now, but it's only showing 6. I guess YouTube must not be working correctly, but at least it's allowing us to be here right now. Rise, good morning. Stephen, good morning. Yeah, we will have all that for you guys. We will have all that. And Cam, I really appreciate you. You really, really appreciate you. All right. So why is the NASDAQ down only 5 points today and the Dow down 98? Does anybody know? Moondog is in the house. Yay. Hopefully you're feeling better, Moondog. So let me explain to you why. No, Dave, it's not. Yeah, it's only 6 here, but I could tell you it's a lot more than 6 here. But at least it's working fine. Well, you guys all know there's more than 6 people here. There's like hundreds of people here. All right. The point is, let me show you something. ADI had earnings this morning. Advanced analog devices, not advanced, analog devices. The stock is up 7%. That's the stock right now. Well, why is the Dow down, Roger? Target. Target screwed the pooch. Not good. And Target is a very influential stock for earnings. Yeah, ignore this number, guys. There's more than 7 people watching. There's like 300 people watching right now, or about 250. So again, watch this carefully. Now, do I expect Target to go down? Now, between you and I'm going to tell you what I think. I think that Target is going to bottom out around here, right around this area. Let me just draw this for you. I think Target's going to come down to this area right here. I think Target's going to consolidate, start building a base, and we'll catch it back and on the gap fill after it consolidates and fills the gap. Okay, so very, 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 very important, and we will see what happens there. But I'm expecting Target to consolidate here. I would not be selling Target. Well, you could sell Target if you really want to, but be careful because you have this support area here, and there's a lot of value here. So be careful right around here. So you only have a couple of points as we get down there. That's what I was just saying, Cam. It'll probably end up being a fantastic gap to green trade after we consolidate and go higher. Would I consider doing a gap to green today or tomorrow on this? Absolutely not. What we want to see with earnings is we want to see a strong consolidation. First of all, we want to see the earnings buzz wear off. That takes about 3 days. Then we want to see a consolidation, and then we want to see the stock start going up. To give you a good example, and I know this is a good example because this was our first trade in the option program, and we lost huge on it. Was it this one or was it DD? Hold on. There was a big gap. Let me just show you real quick. Right here. So my first weekly cash flow trade was right here, and it opened right here. We took a loss. And then this ended up being like my first or second gap to green trade right here. But look what happens. Earnings come out right here. And then it takes several days for it to kind of get back into track, right? Exactly. Let the market digest. Good morning, Patrick, Robert. Good morning, morning, all to you guys. Yes, future gap to green candidate. Exactly, Duzzy. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly right. And if you're just logging in, ignore this number 9. There's like 300 people in here. Something is wrong with YouTube today. Usually we get over 100 within 30 seconds, and we're at 9 after 7 minutes. So, and you guys could see that there's like a ton of people in this room. So again, but I wanted to show you, don't just get happy when you see earnings. So look, earnings reaction, and then look follow through, and then you have a gap up. So I'm kind of looking for this type of scenario to play out with Target for a potential future gap to green trade. Morning, Susan. How are you? Hopefully you got my email okay yesterday. So let's keep an eye on this stock, but I would be very cautious. And if anything, I would short the stock till it meets this level, but I don't think I will touch it. Volatility is just too high. So again, why is the market? Why is the NASDAQ down 5? And why is the Dow down 90? Because of ADI and because of Target. So we're going to have a little more. Dave, you don't have to bookmark anything, man. You just need to save this link or just go. Hey, Cam, can you show Dave how to get to this video on while I'm doing this? You don't have to bookmark. It's all there. It's literally in the live tab. Just go to the Roger Scott YouTube channel and go to the live tab. Matter of fact, let me show you. Look. YouTube. You click Roger Scott right here. You get my video, and I'm live right now. You could see that. You go here. Oops. You could see it right there, and you can go to my live tab. I just don't want to do that right now because I'm logged in, but that's all you got to do. It's really, really simple. Good morning, Mark. How are you? All right, let's now do our review. So as you guys can see here, the Dow's down a lot. The S&P, the QQQ's barely down. The S&P's meeting us in between. I wouldn't be making big bets ahead of anything today because we have NVIDIA earnings and we have FOMC, okay? But yeah, Dave, all of this is saved under the live tab. If you guys want to see all of these, you can go to the live tab and literally watch them in real time, rewind them, and do all that stuff. All right, so that's that. As far as data today, well, we've got existing home sales. This is an important report. It is an important report, especially on a day like today. We also have the petroleum status report. Energies have been cooling off a little bit. We're short an energy stock in one of our services right now, actually. And then we have a big report, which is going to be the FOMC minutes. My prediction for this report, good morning, Oliver and Dave. My prediction is that they're going to say that in the last few months, the interest rates, we've been having some surprise inflation, and we're going to be changing our timeline. More than likely. Here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. Hey, Julian, the problem is the Fed has already said that yesterday, the day before, Powell did. That's already taken everything out of the market. So I'm not really sure how much firepower this report is going to have in light of everything we've already seen. And have you also noticed, by the way, these speakers the last 2 days have had absolutely no impact on the market at all. So, and also, be careful because an hour and a half, 2 hours after this report comes out, you're going to have earnings on NVIDIA. So that may also cause a slight muteness within the report, but we got to be very, very careful today. Hey, Infinitely, how are you? Richard, how are you? Folks, ignore the fact that it says there's 9 people here. There's like 330, 340 right now, usually at this time. This is not calculating it correctly, just FYI. So FOMC minutes, big report. Then we've got new home sales. I would be watching the housing market very, very carefully right now because existing home sales and new home sales do tell us about retail sales, because when folks buy new homes, they buy things for their houses. Then we've got Christopher Wallace speaking on Friday, and we've got durable goods. I don't think these reports will be as meaningful because I think after the FOMC, after NVIDIA, the market will start to look for technical levels. And I think the market's going to be watching a lot of technicals today. And that's what we'll be doing as well. We've already talked about this. PDD has earnings today. Snow has earnings today. Target already came out. Do you guys know if TJ Maxx comes out after the close or before the open? If you do, please let me know. We have a calendar. We have a paper trade calendar spread on the stock right now, and I don't know if it's coming out. I don't know if it's coming out after the close or before the open. I'm assuming after the closing bell. Let me just take a quick look. TGT. There we go. Let's just quickly take a look. And I would be watching Target today to see if there's any. No, nothing came out yet. So it's probably after the close. If you guys know, just let me know. Okay, so we talked about earnings. What about volatility? Well, Snow's expected 11%. Target was expecting 7.5%. What did Target get? Let's take a quick look. I'm curious. Down 8%. So the expectation was 7.5%. Target 8%. These are very, very accurate. PDD is up over 8%. Let's see. PDD 7%. They were expecting 9.9%. So in this case, the volatility wasn't as high. Oh, before the open. Okay, cool. So I guess it's going to happen in the next half hour. Would you guys let me know when it comes out, when they're released? They usually come out about a little bit before the opening bell. And again, we don't have 12 people here. We have about 300 and probably about 350 by now, if I had to guess. All right. So let's talk about the bond market a little bit. So the bond market cooled off. Let me just go intraday here. Cooled off. And now the bond market is coming back down. Now here, this is the 200-day moving average right here. We bounced off. And today it looks like we're a little bit lower as well. That's going to put pressure on blue chip stocks. As I mentioned to you guys also, If you see the bond market breaking, bond market breaking this level right here and coming back into this range, it's not going to be great for the market. Oh, they're already out. Good, good. It doesn't look like the stock has any follow through. Is it up, down? What are you guys seeing with it right now? Let me know. So I'm hoping that the bond market, will continue moving higher here, but I don't think it will. I think it's going to start falling back in line here, which will put more pressure on the Fed and the yield. Okay. So I guess we'll revisit it in a few minutes. Again, let me know if the stock is up or if it's down or if it's doing anything at all. All right. So keep an eye on the bond market. On the TLT, we want to keep an eye on the 90 level. Okay. What about the gold market? Well, the gold market looks like it kind of peaked out, made a swing high, and now is making a lower high. Does that mean the rally's over? No, absolutely not at all. Okay. Not at all. It means like we're in a pause and wait zone. Technically, weaker gold is actually pretty good for the market. So we'll see how that goes. But gold has been going up with the stock market. So thank you, Carlos. But I think it's just going to consolidate here and start coming back up again. I think this is going to be a multi-year rally, and I think there's going to be more upside here. And also like how we're above that, the triangle. The problem is, are we going to come back into range or not? And also, we're entering a quiet period of the year. Thank you for that. Thanks for that information on TJX. Thank you. So again, be cautious that we might have peaked out in the short term on the metals. Short term on the metals. Okay, short term. What about energies? What about the energy market, right? Let's look at crude oil real quick. Crude oil. Crude oil, remember what I told you, there's a base right here. And to me, it looks like we want to consolidate near this base. We bounced once, we bounced twice, and now it looks like we're just gearing down. And I think we're going to stay and consolidate a little more and possibly test this 90.76 area. So don't be surprised if we stall out on the energy market and the gold market for the foreseeable future. It just looks like we're about to go into a consolidation stage. See that? Like right now, there's just not a lot of directional bias. And if you go to the gold market, which we will right now, you will see similarly, there's very little directional bias. When commodities lose their directional bias, it typically means stocks and bonds start to move. So again, it looks like we're going to be consolidating on both energies and gold, which means the stock market and the bond market are going to be driving the bus. Volatility. Wanted to talk a little bit about volatility via the VIX. Let's do that right now. Volatility looks like it's bottomed out. It doesn't look like there's much more downside. This is making option premium very, very cheap, and it's making it very attractive for option buyers. What about option sellers? Option sellers should not be selling far out of the money options right now. Why? Because implied volatility is really, really low. So if implied volatility jacks up, you're going to be screwed even if the stock doesn't do anything. What? What do you mean, Roger? Well, let me give you an example. Let's say we have Amazon. Oops. I'm using this as a hypothetical. I think energy prices are going to be stable for a little while. I don't think there's going to be a big movement in energies over the next couple of weeks. So let's take a look at Amazon, okay? Let's say that Amazon is at 180 and you think it's not going to go down to 160 and you sell a 160 put for 10 cents. Well, probably, and it expires in 2 weeks. Well, probably Amazon will not get there. The problem is that 10-cent option that you bought can start increasing in value if volatility starts increasing. If VIX starts increasing, if this asset starts increasing in value, that option can just start, if VIX starts coming from 12 to 15, that option can just start increasing or just staying at value for a foreseeable future. So you're waiting for decay, you're waiting for decay, you're waiting for the decay, and it's not coming. This is why in the weekly cash flow, in the last few weeks, I changed the strategy to go from taking very little premium to taking a huge amount of premium, getting a move from that stock, and then taking some premium home. To give you an example, we took 30 cents on Netflix yesterday. We had to trade overnight, but I didn't take 10 cents. I took $2.60 or $2.50, and I ended up keeping 30 cents versus taking 10 cents and keeping 7 cents out of it. So, and I'm sure folks in the weekly cash flow have noticed the last 4 or 5 trades that I've been doing that way. That's how you want to trade right now because volatility is very, very low. So if you're in an option program and you have a guru and that guru is selling far, far, far out of the money options, be careful because that guru is not taking implied volatility into account. You want to do that when implied volatility is up here, not down here. Okay. So just FYI. Yeah, the bond market is going down. It's moving lower, and that's going to put pressure on the stock market. But again, we have Target, we have all these earnings. The Dow's up only 80 points. We're going to have a lot of volatility today. Folks, don't try to be a day trader today unless you really know what you're doing, because the market's going to sucker you, okay? It's going to sucker you. It's going to sucker you out of your position. That's what the market's designed to do. It's going to be a lot of volatility today. So we talked about gold. We've talked about crude oil. We've talked about volatility and why right now selling far out of the money options is not what you want to do. Right now is the time to be buying options. When volatility comes up here or up here, look, when volatility goes from 12 to up here, premium doubles on the option. So you want to start selling premium when it's, out of the money when it's like right here, not down here. Okay. With cash flow account up for 84% P&L profits. Good. Send me an email, Carlos. So has anybody in my weekly cash flow, have you noticed the difference in the last like 3 or 4 trades? If you have, just post yes in the chat. Okay. But that's how I'm going to be doing. That's how we're going to be selling premium till volatility gets at least in the upper end of its range. Okay. Accounts for 84% of P&L profits. Good. Yeah, let me know if you guys like how I've been doing the weekly cash flow. All right, let's talk. We talked about today's session. We talked about Fed data. We talked about earnings. We talked about the bond market and how the bond market is cooling off. All right, Zoe says yes. Dr. Serena, Carlos, Glenn. Good. I've done this in the last like 3 or 4, maybe 5 trades. I think you guys should notice a major difference in how I'm picking those options. Instead of taking 10 cents, I'm taking $2.50, which is a hell of a lot better for your risk too. Good. Glad to hear that. Good. Glad to hear that. All right. So we talked about all the things surrounding the stock market. And again, be careful volatility. If you see volatility staying around here today, I don't think we're going to see too much of a decline in the stock market. If you see implied volatility go up, that means we're probably going to cool off. And if you see it staying around here, that means the market still feels pretty bullish. Because remember, these measure the at-the-money levels for implied volatility. Okay. All right. Now, with that said, let's talk about fundamentals, and then we'll talk about technicals. Okay. Let's talk about the stock market fundamentals. Let me increase this in size. All right. Sergey, good morning to you. Good. Look at that. It says 22 watching. There's like 300 something people in this room. This thing is busted. It's got a delayed reaction. All right. Let me make this a little smaller. Market participants waiting for Federal Reserve's latest policy meetings. Now, this is priceless. This is priceless. Notice what they're calling NVIDIA. Artificial intelligence NVIDIA. Folks, NVIDIA is a freaking chip stock, okay? It's not an artificial bellwether. It's a chip stock. It's an AI stock. No, it's a chip stock. It was a chip stock yesterday. It's a chip stock today, and it's going to be a chip stock tomorrow. It's not a artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is just another aspect of technology. It's not an artificial intelligence. It's a semiconductor, for the love of God. Yeah, there's a lot more than 19 people here. So this is just marketing. All right. It's a chip stock. Let's all calm down. Okay. NVIDIA is a chip stock. It's not an artificial bellwether, artificial intelligence. My God. They just can't stop marketing this thing. First Solar, one of the stocks that I've been talking about quite a bit, is climbed 8%, top percentage gainer on the S&P after they got upgraded. The stock was on our long list. Uh, quite a, Actually, it was on our long list in the VIP room last night. And yeah, it was in our long list in the VIP room last night. And it was in the VIP room the last 2 days, actually. This stock right here. I just have it in my notes. Yeah, it's a wrong link when it goes to the counter or something. I don't know. Weird, 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 weird. All right. So Tesla advanced more than 6%. Now, but here, folks, this is what you need to know about it. Why did they go up? This is embarrassing. Advanced more than 6% was the top gainer, but why? Coalition of Tesla shareholders is urging peers to oppose a $56 billion pay package for Elon Musk and to vote against the re-election of his brother and this other guy, citing concerns that the board is not acting in the company's best interest. That's right, Terry. That's exactly what's going on. A lot of companies are doing exactly that. So this is one of those good news is bad news. Ultimately, this is really bad news for the company. Rebecca, good morning. This is really bad news for the company. Really, really, really bad news for the company. Okay. So although it may be positive, it's not a really good look, right? Hey, our stock is up 6%. They want to get rid of us. Oh, it's priceless, priceless, priceless. All right. That's priceless. IBM, as you guys know, that's our latest gap to green stock. Rose 2% and was the top percent gainer yesterday on the Dow. Again, artificial intelligence updates. Artificial intelligence updates. Amazing, right? Amazing. Amazing. Artificial intelligence. All right, let's talk about the adults and what they said to the kid yesterday. This is important because this will reflect into the minutes. Waller said Tuesday he needs to see several more favorable inflation reports before considering an interest rate cuts. Several, okay? Adding that keeping rates steady for 3 or 4 more months won't harm the economy. Boy, I couldn't agree with him more. But you see, the point is this data is already in the market. It's already in the market, okay? So if we hear this from the minutes today, well, what is it going to do? But I agree with him. He's right. In the absence of significant weakening in the labor market, I need to see several more months. Notice no more 3 rate drops this year. No more nonsense like that. I would be more comfortable supporting an easing in the stance. In a discussion following his pre-marked remarks, he added that he expects the next move in the borrowing costs will be downwards. So far, there's nothing that he said that hasn't, right? What did Bostic say? He stated that the central bank will be in a position to begin cutting interest rates by the end of the year. Yeah, okay. Though he does not anticipate this happening before the fourth quarter. Okay, so okay, I agree. Remember, this is baked into the market. So if the FOMC minutes today mimic this, what do you think is going to happen? Nothing. Finally, Mester stated her preference of observing a few more months of inflation data that looks like it's coming down before cutting interest rates. Now, I want to ask you guys an interesting question, and please tell me if I'm the crazy one in this room. If you read this, and somebody asked you after you read this, hey guys, when do you think interest rates are going to go down? You would probably say around Christmas. That's what they're all saying that. Several more months, 3 to 4 months. Let's see. July, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, okay. There are several more months by the end of the year. I would say probably around the November, December, around there. That's probably what 85, 90% of normal, reasonable people would say reading this, right? But look what the market's pricing in. Oh, by the way, next meeting in June, it's now zero. Remember, this was 80%, 90%. It's zero now. Remember, this was 31%, and then 26%, and then 21%. It's 18 now. Now, do you really think there's an 18% chance that the Fed is going to cut rates in July based on reading this? From where? From where? From my butt? I mean, so again, this number needs to reflect this. This is the market or the kid. This is the parents. The parents keep telling that dense kid it ain't going to happen. And what is the kid doing? You know exactly what he's doing. There's still a chance. It's like Dumb and Dumber. Is there a chance? Well, so either this is wrong or this is wrong. And guess what I think was wrong? So mark my words. Remember, I was laughing when this was at 90%. I was laughing. I was sending pictures on Telegram of the dude from The Office with a cracking up smile on his face, Michael from The Office, saying, ha, 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 80%. Well, if this is 18%, this should be maybe 3%. Right. The market is not listening to the Fed, but eventually it will. It doesn't really have a choice because this is who controls this. So again, just to show you, the number is getting lower. I told you it was going to get lower, but expect this to be about 3%. And when this is at 3%, the bond market will be down here. So you have to be very, very cautious with bonds. And if bonds are going to go down, ask yourself, what's going to happen to the stock market? Well, why don't you check and see what happened to the stock market between this date and this date? Here's the date, between 4/1 and 4/24. I'm sure you want to know, so let's take a quick look. Let's just take a quick look. For one, do you see this? That happened during this period of time. And I think this will come down because the Fed is not going to accomplish this. And this is what's priced into the market right now. Okay. So yes, I'm expecting the market to go down, and I'm showing you why, because the market is currently pricing in 18%, and something's going to have to give. 1 second. Let me let Bonnie in. Bonnie wants to assist us. Hold on. We got a fur ball here in the house. There you go. A fur ball, I tell you. All right, go over here. Behave yourself. All right, so let's continue. No. You're not going there. I'm working. You can't go there. You have to behave yourself. Today, we're going to be looking at the minutes, and we already know based on this what they're going to say. So I don't think this report is going to have too much of an impact. We have U.S. existing home sales. We've got crude oil inventories. We've got Europe is down 38, not really giving us much tailwind. All right, at all. China closed just above its flat line. Solar stock rallied. Solar stock should start firming up here in the U.S. as well if crude oil takes a backseat for the next day or two. Okay. Japan closed lower. Investors digested disappointing trade data for the country, while concerns regarding higher borrowing costs also dampened sentiment. So we're not really seeing much. We're not really seeing too much movement helping us from international markets. But here's some news that you guys do need to know. By the way, we don't have 28 people watching us. We have over 300 people watching us, just FYI. Japanese 10-year government bond yield hit the psychological threshold of 1% for the first time in 11 years on Wednesday, driven by rising expectation that the Bank of Japan may implement further tightening measures in the coming months. Who told you a year and a half ago that they were going to raise their rates? It was actually Warren Buffett. It wasn't me. Actually, it was Bonnie. Bonnie knew. This guy knew right here. All right. Urban Outfitters climbed 8%. They had good report. Shopify got upgraded. We just got out of that stock yesterday. Some of you got out of that stock yesterday. Some of you still holding that stock. It was the 8th loss that we had out of 170 something trades in the pit. I just got out of it. I just got impatient of holding it on the option. It was decaying, and that was that. If you were in the stock, you could have actually made money yesterday on it, but I'll leave that up to you. Heinz, Edward Science, Vista, this is nothing. The big thing is going to be right here, these earnings that we're going to have today. All right, let's jump to technicals. Speaking of which, let's see how the market's doing. NASDAQ flat, Dow's down 80 points. In terms of the broad market, the NASDAQ, let's just go over here. The NASDAQ is right here near the upper end of the range. If you look at it on an intraday basis, we are still up here. We're near all-time highs. No, Bonnie, you can't go there. You can't go there. We're near all-time high levels right now. The support level we need to pay attention to. No, you stay here or I'm going to kick you out. 450 on the SPY. And definitely want to look at the Dow because Dow's declining today. On the SPY, we're right here. We don't really have anything till 525, so we have to drop 5 points to see some downside. And on the Dow, we're already breaking this level. So want you guys to see that we're already breaking that level right here. And that level is 39,800. Bonnie, I'm going to have to kick you if you keep doing this. So again, be careful. If the bond market keeps going down, you're going to see it reflect in the Dow Jones, the blue chips, okay? Yeah, I was talking to Bonnie. He desperately wants to come up here and join you for this conversation. So again, keep your eye on the Dow Jones. This is a critical juncture that we're in right now, 39,800. And the next level below that is 39,360. If we break this level, if we start coming down to this level, there's a really good chance we're going to traverse all the way down. Again, the blue chips are bearish, but the QQQ, as you could see right here, is fairly strong and holding on. And I think the biggest factor is going to be volatility. I think we have to keep an eye on volatility and the bond market. Volatility and the bond market are going to give us the bigger picture. All right, before we conclude, momentum levels. Are momentum levels out of whack? Not at all. We have 225 stocks making 90-day highs, but look at the 90-day lows. Remember this, keep an eye on this number. I want to show you something. Just keep an eye on that number. 46, 32, 21, 23, 21, 20, 36. We're starting to get to a point where there's actually some shorts to look at. See that? This is the highest number of 90-day breakdowns. So we are clearly starting to lose momentum to the upside, and less stocks are making all-time highs because you have more stocks making 90-day breakdowns. Although there's nothing here that we need to really worry about, except the fact that we'll have more opportunities to trade to the downside because there's more down stocks. In terms of market momentum levels, let's see in terms of sectors, let's see. And today in the VIP room, I'm going to do the full 20 sector breakdown. I know you guys like when I do that. So let's see what's leading. Speculative, highly defensive, medium, defensive, speculative. Communication services needs to be up here. Consumer discretionary needs to be up here. If you can take communication services and consumer discretionary and put them here, this would go a long ways to looking a lot better. Also, it's kind of odd that you have mid caps here and the Russell 2000 here, but overall, it's not that bad. It really is not that bad. Okay. So we're kind of mixed up, but if we can get communications to come up and consumer discretionary to come up, we would be in a better place. But you can clearly see the technology has the lead right now. And that's actually very, very bullish. Okay. Now, with that said, let's go to one last thing before we go to our stocks. This is the number of stocks in the Dow Jones that are trading above the 200-day moving average. Now, this is a 20-year chart. Okay. This is how many times we've been above the current level. This is the current level. I just drew a red line to show you how many times in 20 years. Now, it's not really 20 years. They started tracking this in 2007. So it's really 17 years, okay? It's really 17 years. But you could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It happens once every year to 2 years. Interestingly, when we do get to these levels, we tend to stay at these levels for quite some time. So the question is, are we going to penetrate these levels higher, or are we going to stay here? We don't do this very often. Once every year and a half, and we stay here for a few months, we go up to those levels. I don't know if that's going to happen this time or not. But just so you could see, the Dow Jones, a lot of stocks, 80% of stocks in the Dow are trading above the 200-day moving average, okay? Something to be mindful of. In terms of the number of stocks in other indices, in the S&P, the number has started going down. We only have 78. We went to 80, I think, and I think this number is beginning to cool off or staying near the top, but I'll just show you how it looks so you could see over 10 years, just to kind of show you. Let's go 20 years. So you could see where we are right now on the S&P. This is, again, going back 17 years, and the S&P 500, once, twice. This is the only times we've been here in 17 years above the current level on the SPY. So we are in nosebleed levels, and you have 82% of stocks in the S&P trading above the 200-day moving average, which is telling you ultimately that the market is very bullish. All right, let's now go through the stocks that are on my hit list, okay? Let me check TJ Maxx one more time. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there we go. It's up 1.5%. We'll see how that spread we put on do in the next couple hours. Hey, did anybody put on that TJX paper trade in the calendar spread in the pit? The one I gave you guys as a paper trade. If you have, just put yes in the chat. TJX. All right, let's go through some stocks, shall we? All right. Jesus, look at this. Looks crazy. These lines. Let's do the short side first, okay? Good. I'm glad you guys paper traded it. So now let's go through our short list. Sirius, LSXMA. CSX, the railroad stock. Breaking the 200-day moving average. David, that's why you're paper trading it. All will be clear. If you paper trade it 5 times, I promise you will understand it. And you will want to do it continuously. Wrong stock. Not this stock. No. Hold on a second. This one, this stock. I confused the I's with the L's. Polaris, this stock. Downside. Backs. Yeah, Eagle, I gave folks a TJX time spread for like less than 20 cents yesterday in the pit I'm going to try to sprinkle those onto you guys to a point where you get so addicted to them, you won't be able to, you'll be begging me to put more of them on. Backs. Yeah, we sold an option on TJX that's expiring this Friday, and we bought one that's expiring next Friday. And it was like 20 cents. BL, next one. Here, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to post this trade here for you guys so you could study it. Okay? This was the trade right here. This was the trade I gave as a bonus trade yesterday. You can't do this right now. It's too late already for it. I can't post everything here. It won't let me post everything. 1 second. Here we go. This was the trade I gave yesterday. And I told folks to paper trade it. So if you guys want to see what it's worth today, see it when the market opens what that trade is worth, okay? I gave that as a trade yesterday in the pit as a paper trade. Let's continue. If I were you, I would study that and watch it today. QSR, more downside. Core. You can't do that trade anymore. The news came out already. It's still active, XP. It's still active. Does he? Instead of discussing it here, I'm going to discuss it in the room later today. But I wanted to give it to you so you guys could see, so you could track the options. Core. Remember, this is a learning exercise. Yes, strictly training, exactly. Robert Half. That's the short side. Let's do the long side. Johnson Control. First time we're ever talking about this stock. Google, still in play. Schwab, I still like Schwab. Oh, my dogs are going crazy again. You know, I think this is missing a zero. This watching now, I think it's missing a zero. I think we have 360 in the room and it's saying 36. Duke, TSCO. Tractor Supply Company. Costco. EME. You can't put that trade on anymore, that TJX. That's why I'm giving it to you guys here so you could study it. It's already in play because the earnings already came out. H&R Block right here, but you could look at it, review it, and learn from it. LPX. Whoops, LPX. Remember, you can rewatch this video. You can rewind this video. Form, another one. Form factor. There we go. A small cap chip stock. First time, Cirrus Logic. Very cool company. One of the big leaders from the Russell. But this is a small cap chip stock. Something we want to pay attention to. And that's it. That's my long list. Now, folks, remember something. Join me today at 1 o'clock. I'll be talking about, and I'll be giving you my number one stock that's pulling back for a VWAP. That's happening at 1 p.m. right here. I don't want you guys to miss out on that. And at noon, I'm going to have my VIP room. And here's a link for that. And today in the VIP room, I'm going to be doing a preview of all the goodies that are coming out after the close. And I'm also going to do my 20 sector technical analysis review. So you'll get to see all of these sectors. I'm going to analyze all of these sectors technically to see what sectors are rising, which ones are falling. They want to get the spreads understood. Good, Angie. That's why I posted here so you could see how it was paper traded. And that XP trade is still in effect. Nothing happened yet. It's still present. Where do you go for the PIT subscription? You reach out to customer service. They will help you out. All right, guys. I had a fantastic day. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions at all, roger@rogerscott.com. I'll talk to you guys soon and have a fantastic Wednesday and good luck today with all of these earnings and all this craziness that's happening. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for joining me.